University of Illinois fires their athletic director.
And the Illini basketball season tips off in Springfield.
Plus, President Obama has shut down the proposed Keystone XL pipeline.
Your UI7 News Break starts right now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, this is your UI7 News Break, your U of I news source.
Hello, welcome to UI7 News Break. I'm Alejandra Pena.
And I'm Shannon Kelly.
The final report of an investigation into allegations of misconduct in the U of I Athletic Department has finally been released.
And as a result, the Division of Intercollegiate Athletic has made a change in leadership. UI7's Gianna Marcetta has more on the story.
Mike Thomas has been fired following the release of the full report investigating the allegations against the Illinois football and women's basketball programs. The final report confirms the allegations of mistreatment and forcing of players to play while injured during the tenure of former head football coach Tim Beckman. The report also did not find any evidence to support accusations of racism and medical mistreatment by women's head basketball coach Matt Ballant. Despite Thomas not being found responsible for any misconduct, Illinois' interim chancellor Barbara Wilson still decided it was time to make a change of leadership.
There have been distractions in the last several weeks or months, I would say, and it's just time for us to move forward.
Wilson also named Paul Kowalczyk as interim athletic director. Kowalczyk has been with the U of I since 2012 and previously served as the director of athletics at Colorado State University and Southern Illinois.
You know, when you're asked to step up, you step up. I mean, I felt like it was an obligation and a duty to the university.
This all came about following former Illinois football player Simon Sianovich accusing Beckman and the program of mistreatment on Twitter back in May. Other former players came forward with more complaints. Thomas then requested that an outside investigation take place to look into the accusations. At this time, there are no further plans for any more changes in coaches or administration, and Kowalczyk says he'll be meeting with current Illini coaches in the near future. At Memorial Stadium in Champaign, I'm Gianna Marcetta, UI7 Newsbreak.
The State Farm Center is finishing up this round of renovation in preparation for basketball season. Every single seat in the stadium is now new. Retractable floor seating will create an additional 3,000 square feet for concerts and other events. This phase is expected to be complete in time for the December 2nd men's game against Notre Dame. Renovations will continue behind the scenes throughout the basketball season. A new scoreboard that will be twice as big will be installed next year. The project is expected to complete by next November.
The U of I's men's basketball team will have a new home while they wait for renovations to the State Farm Center to be completed. UI7's Alex Ortiz has more on how the team and the fans are liking their temporary venue.
For the first month of this basketball season, Springfield-based Illini fans will be treated to seeing their favorite team come to town. For longtime fans and Springfield natives like Donna McNeely, the opportunity is especially exciting. Her and her husband have been season ticket holders for 25 years.
I thought it was great. We could go and we didn't have to drive 100 miles.
The Prairie Capital Convention Center in Springfield will be the site of the Illini's first 4 regular season home games. The team will return to the State Farm Center once renovations are completed in December. This means the team, the band, the Orange Crush, and even the actual hardwood for Lou Henson Court have to make the over 80-mile trip on Interstate 72.
Now, without an actual home game to start this season, John Gross and company will have to take a different mindset to help prepare themselves for the first stretch of their schedule.
In terms of the actual format of travel and when we get there and when we eat and when we stay, what time we, how long we stay, all that's based on almost like a road game, to be quite honest.
Still, the state capitol is welcoming the Illini with open arms. They have even dubbed the 4-contest series as the Capital Games. The team's effort to attract fans from across the state has generated real excitement for this season, even despite the logistical challenges on and off the court.
I think they're going to do pretty good. Even though we've had some hurt ones, I think Gross will come through and we'll do pretty good.
It seems like no matter where the team goes, Illini fans will be sure to follow. In Springfield, I'm Alex Ortiz, UI7 Newsbreak.
This year will bring a number of challenges for head coach John Gross and company. They don't have a true home game until December 2nd, and the team is dealing with a number of injuries. Illinois finished last year with a 19-14 record. They're looking this year to make the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2013. Key injuries to veterans Kendrick Nunn and LaRon Black means some of the younger Illini will need to step into larger roles earlier than expected. Junior Malcolm Hill is trying to help his newer teammates start strong this season. The team opens its season this Friday against North Florida at 7 p.m. and then will face North Dakota State on Sunday at 2.
The Illini's women's basketball team is also set to start this year after a difficult off-season. Head coach Matt Bowen's team lost 7 players from last year to either transfer or graduation. After allegations of abuse, medical mistreatment, and systemic racism arose back in April, an independent investigation found no wrongdoing. However, the team is still dealing with the loss of former assistant coach Mike Divilbus with the 7 players who filed the suit. Now, Balan and company want to put the difficulty of last season behind them.
For now, we're just focusing on basketball. We're thankful to be playing basketball and moving forward, and thankful for 11 players that are excited to be here and want to get better, and so that's really good.
The Illini will play their first 4 home games at Parkland College in Champaign. Their first test will be against Chicago State on Friday. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m.
Coming up next, University of Missouri's president resigns amidst controversy.
And a local veteran is helping other veterans adjust to campus life.
Ballerina. Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Race relations protests on the University of Missouri campus have forced a head administrator to resign. UI7's Claire Levisorio has more on the story.
University System President Tim Wolf resigned after student protests ignited on Mizzou's campus. Students protested race relations, accusing administrators that nothing has been done to stop racism on campus. A video was posted to Twitter of Wolf interacting with student protesters, highlighting the racial divide.
What do you think systematic oppression is?
Systematic oppression is because you don't believe that you have the equal opportunity for success.
You don't believe.
Wolf spoke to the campus, announcing his resignation Monday, and said that emotions are boiling and tensions are high.
The frustration and anger that I see is clear, real, and I don't doubt it for a second.
In his speech, he also mentioned Jonathan Butler, a student who initiated a hunger strike last week, hoping to make a statement. Butler said he hopes his strike will force administrators to take action.
This is the beginning. We still have a lot of healing that needs to happen on campus, but this is a great first step towards change.
I'm Claire Lavisorio, UI7 Newsbreak.
Many environmentalists are celebrating as President Obama shut down the proposed Keystone XL pipeline on Friday.
The XL pipeline project that has been in the works for 7 years was rejected by President Obama. This collaboration with TransCanada proposed to build a pipeline from Canada to Texas. The pipeline would cover 1,200 miles and pass through 6 states. It would transport 800,000 barrels of petroleum each day. With guidance from the U.S. Department of State, Obama rejected this project due to the negative effects it would have on the environment.
America is now a global leader when it comes to taking serious action to fight climate change. And frankly, approving this project would have undercut that global leadership.
Regardless, the Keystone XL pipeline has caused controversy between Republicans and liberal activists. Many Republicans state that the pipeline would create jobs and help the U.S. maintain energy security. Governor Chris Christie is one of the Republican presidential candidates in favor of the pipeline.
If I'm President of the United States, if the folks are still interested in doing it, we'll build it.
While the pipeline would require around 4,000 people to build, these workers would only be needed for 1 year. The pipeline would create approximately 35 full-time positions.
Pipeline would not make a meaningful long-term contribution to our economy. Shipping dirtier crude oil into our country would not increase America's energy security.
The rejection of the Keystone XL pipeline is one way that the White House is working towards fighting climate change. As Obama is nearing the end of his presidency, new Democratic candidates plan to continue this trend.
Our only planet is in danger, and we need bold and aggressive action to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy.
I'm Shannon Kelly, UI7 Newsbreak.
Today is Veterans Day, and one U of I veteran student wants to make campus a more welcoming place for those who have served. Joseph E. Davis has more on the story.
I was blown up in Iraq in 2005 with an improvised explosive device, and since that day on, I've been dealing with injuries and the repercussions from that disability.
Since Anderson has also been furthering his education here at the
when we built this center, we wanted to build it
currently a
with
graduate
people.
student at the university and plans to use his education and past experience to benefit his fellow veterans.
My master's degree is in rehab counseling, so I can further other veterans who are going through what I'm doing, because I have, I guess, the field knowledge of what we go through, and now I need the practical book knowledge.
The latest addition to services provided here at U of I to veterans were made possible by generous donations.
Anderson has made it a priority to serve those that serve the country. One of his goals is to provide a familiar family-like experience for veterans such as the one that they had in armed forces.
In the military, you have units. You have these companies, units, battalions. And that's what we're building here, is that these soldiers know they can come here and feel safe, and because you're used to having camaraderie with other soldiers. And so we're like that here.
Kind of get your foot with that environment. So on top of that rope. Positive mindset. Some veterans do.
The embracing the suck kind of mentality that kind of comes sometimes with the military. It's not really suck, but it's one of those, you have some stuff that's tough and you end up enjoying that later and remember those events that happened, and it kind of brings you closer together.
And helping out with the challenges of school is just the start of Anderson plans.
This is a new life for them. So this is a transition. We're trying to transition them from their old life into a new life. So we're building a new normal for them.
I am Joseph E. Davis, UI7 Newsbreak.
The University of Illinois Army ROTC had an open house this past weekend at the Armory. There were many activities, including tight ropes, rock climbing, and taking pictures in the Army uniform. The open house also featured actual military vehicles and firearms that people could see and learn about. The Army ROTC wants students to understand the misconceptions of ROTC, like you don't automatically have to join the military. One of the incentives of the ROTC is providing scholarships to help pay for college. Since today is Veterans Day, the ROTC will be at this week's Ohio State Games, recruiting and encouraging students to learn more about ROTC.
That is all for this UI7 News Break.
Thanks for watching and have a great day.